Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I proudly present an in-depth review without starting the engine of a 2019 Mercedes-Benz S560. And it's also a 4MATIC, four-wheel drive. So here's the tow hook down here. Premium only, however the gas door is locked for some reason. It's got the multi-beam LED headlamps, and these feature adaptive high beam assist and adaptive high beam assist plus. And big thanks to Andrew Sofiakis at Mercedes-Benz of St. Charles for allowing me to take an in-depth review of this vehicle. It is my dream vehicle after all. Push once to turn on accessory power, and then twice to turn on the full ignition without starting the engine. If you wanted to start the engine, you press the brake and press the start button. With my sequence, I like to turn on the ignition before starting the engine and then start it. However, that will not be happening today because we are in a showroom, and if you start the engine in a showroom, the whole place fills up with carbon monoxide. So, over here, this is the steering assist. Not only do you have a pilot light, you have an indicator on the screen for when you turn assist programs on and off. Lane keep assist, right next to that. Heads up display. It's currently on right now. If you push the button, you can turn it off. And here's the projector for that. Panel dimmer. Automatic electronic parking brake. Pull to release, push in to apply, and then to stop the brake from automatically applying, when you put the car in park, you have to pull and hold this tab while opening the driver's door with your seatbelt unfastened or switching the engine off. I know that's kind of a mouthful, but if you try it, you'll see what I'm saying. So here's the fuel gauge, temperature gauge. You notice they are no longer numbers, they're back to analog gauges. I guess Mercedes-Benz got multiple complaints about that, so they switched back from percentages to an analog gauge. However, it's a digital display, so it's a simulated analog gauge. It's got ventilated and heated seats, and then this button allows you to control every aspect of the passenger seat with the driver controls, including heated and ventilated seats. It also does have memory for both the driver and passenger seats. Here's the command system. It's got an analog clock in the middle, and that is a standard option. Alright, I just muted the audio so that way I don't get a copyright strike. So now here's the control for the adaptive cruise control. And then you can set the distance. Then this button here turns it on and off. So down halfway or up halfway to go down by an increment of 1 mile an hour. And then all the way down or up for an increment of 5 miles per hour. However, yeah, they're in increments rather than just going up or down in speed by 5 miles per hour. So like say you're going 43, you want to go like that, now you're going 45 rather than 48. And then it's the multi-function control stack here, so it's a combination switch, that's what it's actually called. It's got automatic wipers, and those are your constant settings. This button here is for manual wipe, and if you push it all the way in, it sprays the cleaning fluid. Pull back for high beams, push forward for high beams always on or adaptive high beam assist depending on what your light setting is set to. So that down here you have the light control, manual on, automatic, parking lights, and roadside parking lights. And when you turn the knob to the roadside parking lights positions, while the ignition is on, it just turns off all the lights. Paddle shifters to control the 9G Tronic, and that's controlled through here. So what you do, you just pull all the way down for drive, push all the way up for reverse, halfway up or down for neutral, and then push this button here on the end for park. Over here you have the volume and Bluetooth controls, as well as a menu for the right side screen if you didn't want to operate it through the center stack. So now I'm going to show you how the gesture controls operate the driver display. You can see your service info. And see, this used to only be available as a dealer menu. On older vehicles, where you'd have to turn on accessory power, make sure the mileage is displayed, hold the phone, answer, and OK button, and then you get the dealer menu. But on the new S-Class, and many cars like it that have gesture controls, you do have a service menu all the way on the left. Drive assist. So this is for the adaptive cruise control. And then here's the attention assist. It says system suspended because the engine's not running. Here's the odometer, range to empty, eco display, distance from start, distance from reset. Also your numerical speedometer if you didn't want to use the left side speedometer. You can also change what you see on the right. So here's the TAC, here's the GPS, eco display, distance from start, and a G-force meter. Navigation, radio, media, phone, heads-up display. You can adjust the settings for that in here. You can have it display just your speed along with your speed limit, which direction you're going to be traveling if you have your GPS on, or all of the above. You can change the brightness of the heads-up display, and also you can adjust the position to where it's most comfortable for you as a driver. Designs for the display. Here's progressive mode. And you can see some of the lights, the idiot lights, moved around. Classic, which is what we were just in, and Sport. And none of the lights move around in the Sport or Classic modes, just in the progressive mode. So, as you can see here, check engine light can illuminate for multiple reasons. Airbag light, suspension fault, parking brake fault, ABS, low tire pressure, low gas if it's yellow. And this shows you what drive mode you're in. That means there's a problem with the brakes. Seatbelt is unfastened. Alternator problem. Steering problem. So most likely no power steering fluid. And also be ready to brake because the car has detected you're too close to somebody. Traction control off. High coolant temperature. And down here, this can change depending on your light mode. So right now that means parking lights. And there used to be multiple indicators for which lights are on. But now there's only one. So if it's on low beam, then you have the low beam light. If it's on high beam, you have the high beam light. It's all in the same location. Very clever. All right. You can place your key here if it dies, so you can still start the car. It's got wireless charging, 2 USB slots, and an SD reader. And this can open from either side. Though that was on the pre-facelift. Auto start stop on and off. Suspension lift. Parking cameras. Parking sensors off. And then this button will drop the rear headrests. There's the command system on and off. Volume, push into mute. Seat massage, navigation, radio, media, telephone, and vehicle settings. This is for the hazards. Here's the back button along with the home button. You also do have controls on this touchpad. Then you also do have a home for this screen. Massage function. Energizing comfort. Dynamic select, so you can configure your individual mode. Let's do that right now. So you have 4 different drive options: Eco, Comfort, Sport, and Manual. Now there is no manual shift mode toggle, so you can configure individual to be your full manual mode if you would like. You can set your suspension to be either Comfort or Sporty, along with your steering and your traction control. You can also turn on and off the notification on mode changes, engine data. So that tells you your battery voltage, horsepower, pound-feet of torque, and your engine oil temperature. Whereas this down here is just your coolant temperature, along with your vehicle data. So when you're on the gas, it tells you how much input you're putting into the gas. So that's pedal to the metal. Assistant settings. Fuel consumption. Along with your light settings, interior and exterior. You can change the color of your ambient light. You have presets. You can also change the intensity of the ambient lighting. You can also turn on and off multicolor and have it be your own custom color. You can turn the daytime running lamps on and off. And you used to be able to only change this function while the engine is off. Mercedes-Benz has restored it so that you can change that setting while the engine is on or off. Locator lighting, so this is when you unlock the car. Exterior lighting delay. Along with the interior lighting delay. Vehicle settings. Standby mode can only be turned on and off with the engine running. Belt adjustment, acoustic locking feature, automatic mirror folding when you lock the vehicle, automatic door lock, trunk lid restriction, and the ignition turns itself off after a period of time if you have not started the engine. You also do have easy entry and exit. And an in-vehicle operator's manual. The climate control has its own menu. You can turn on and off the sync function. You can adjust the temperature up and down with these hotkeys here. You also do have a rest mode for when the ignition is off. You can run it for up to 10 minutes in that state. You have climate modes for the driver and passenger. Turn on and off the air freshener and set the sensitivity or the intensity, ionization, air distribution, and footwell temperature. It's the ashtray. And the different driving modes are as follows. You have Eco, Comfort, which is the default, Sport, and then Individual, which you can program to your own liking. All 4 windows are fully automatic. It's the glove box. And here's where you can lock the trunk for valet purposes. Here's what the key looks like. And up here we have emergency SOS, call Mercedes Me, turn on and off the door illumination. So when this pilot light is lit, that means the lights will not come on when you open the door. This is to override the interior lights. And this is for the rear interior lights. These controls here are for the sunroof. Let's go ahead and see what's under the hood. The engine is a mighty 4-liter twin-turbo hot inside V V8 with a maximum of 463 horsepower. So this is a detuned AMG engine, specially made for the road vehicles, or or should I say the non-AMG vehicles, mainly the S-Class, and soon to be the new GLS, because there's going to be a GLS 560 that has this same engine. Alright, I'm going to check out the trunk space. So you have two options to close the trunk: power close and power close and lock. And then here's the emergency release. And in here you do have your emergency tools for if you were to have a breakdown. And then down here, haven't noticed this before, but that's the emergency unlock, so you can pull out the key that you have in your key fob and unlock it that way if the batteries go dead and you need to open the trunk. Alright, let's go ahead and check out the back. And this example has heated rear seats but not ventilated rear seats, and no seat memory. You also do have vanity mirrors in the rear with an LED. Reading lamps. So that's for the left side. You have another one for the right side. And then over here, so you have three different settings. So those lights and this light only, and then off. And then that's to turn on all the rear illumination, just like you can from the front. Power outlet. It's kind of like you would find in your home. Vent control. And window controls. So what happens is when the windows are up and you pull this again, it puts up the sunscreen, so that way the sun is less intrusive while you're being driven. This control here is for the rear sunroof, or it's for the rear sunscreen, my bad. This is for the rear sunblock, because the rear sunroof does not open. And then push down, and now it's back down. Some storage here, cup holders. You can opt for more premium cup holders, but this is what's standard on an S-Class. And then you can also opt for a power adjusting third-person headrest. Burmester audio system and self-closed doors. So slamming doors is now a thing of the past. Just close it gently. S-Classes have had these for years. Illuminated door sill, trunk release. You can also put the trunk down with that same switch. Window restriction, lock and unlock. Seat controls. And you can opt for cooled rear seats, if I didn't mention that already. 3-stage garage door home link. And I think that pretty much wraps up this tour of the 2019 Mercedes-Benz S560. So, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Hope you enjoyed. Press the thumbs up if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, turn on post notifications, do what you do best, and peace out until next time.